Hi, everybody. I'm not wearing my glasses. Couldn't find them. Anyway, uh, just filed my taxes. And, I don't know, man. Maybe I should be grateful I am getting a return, a refund, whatever you want to call it. But what kind of gets my goat is that our credit card debt is pretty much around the same amount as our refund. So yeah. And I'm not proud of it, but I've been dipping into the kids' accounts to pay for things because, well, medical shit costs a lot of money and is constantly out of pocket. And I think I spent almost $30K this last year. And in some ways I'm getting better, hormones a little bit better, and I'm doing genetic testing and different things and figuring out things about my gut and my digestion and different things about different variants and mutations. But it just gets my goat when doctors don't want to do brain scans or do genetic testing, and you've been shouting at them about it. I don't know, I think I've been shouting about it since 2011. Been talking to doctors about possible fibromyalgia since 2008, 2009. We didn't know about EDS back then, but my mom had hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and I always feel weak in certain joints and things, especially when I'm going through my cycle. So, and I've got hiccups right now. So there's that. Anyway, and I've been seeing a lot of posts of people talking about how doctors just keep telling them it's all in your head. And I want to say, yes, that is partially true. Scan my brain. I mean, it wasn't until I had my kids and they are autistic with ADHD, and I'm finally getting a diagnosis of ADHD. Who knows, I might be autistic too. PMDD and EDS possibly, and mast cells, and I work out and I can lose weight pretty decently, but then I hit a plateau, and then there's weakness in my body, and I have days where I just don't really want to get out of bed and go exercise and stuff, and we just never feel like the same person from day to day, And so nothing but paying out of pocket. Nothing but paying out of pocket for the hormone stuff and the Dutch test and the GI test and trying different apps, and look how red I got already. See what I mean? Mast cells probably. And all the exercise you try to do, and there's still things you think you're figuring out about yourself. So yeah, cheers to the refund that's going to pay my debt off and leave me at, 0? Again, I know I should be happy. Some people don't get refunds. Some people don't have as much as I have in my family. But I think unless you're the 1%, you're going to feel screwed over in some way. Because the amount of money we put in to pay out of pocket for medical or childcare or whatever else, because having a whole neurodivergent family, there's just so much extra you have to pay for when you lose things or break things, or just having to have somebody watch your kid more often because they don't go out as much. It's just, and just having so many ailments you can't figure out. You just have to pay to figure out so many things. I will have to say I would have to say that like doing the Pilates has got me closer to things because it was a Pilates instructor who was like, you're hypermobile. And before that, it was a yoga teacher who was like, you are hyperextender. You hyperextend your leg. I was like, I don't even know what this is. It's interesting how like people who teach exercise classes or people who are chiropractors tend to be more looking at your body, your alignment, how you move, how your body works, versus an actual doctor. You barely get talk to them for like 5 seconds and you're like, hey, listen to me, look at me. I have like a crazy gross white tongue. Did they ever look at it? Now, I still don't know if I have candida. Sorry if that was TMI. But I did a GI test and it didn't say anything about candida. But that's something. What is that? What the hell is that? There's this like Sjögren syndrome that like has to do with issues with like feeling dehydrated and not sweating a lot and glandular stuff. And I'm like, I'm wondering about that too. And now I'm starting to like think, you're just a hypochondriac. You're inventing stuff. And I'm not. It just sounds like it's all connected. Those are my kids at the door. I had more to say, but anyways, I hope you guys all get good tax refunds. And if you're paying out of pocket for medical costs, let's try to get together and be advocates. Let's be advocates, fighting for more coverage for health care for people who are on the spectrum and have ADHD and need more specialized care. You know? Because nobody cares. Nobody.